Coming up on Tech News today, how cutting the cord is making cable TV companies rich. You can call the new HP CEO Mint Jelly, because he's on the lam. And you have a right to be forgotten. Who are you? I don't know. Watch TNT next.
Netcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for Tech News Today is provided by Cachefly at CACHEFLY.com.
This is Tech News Today for Thursday, November 4th, 2010. Tech News Today is brought to you by Ford and voice-activated sync, featuring true hands-free calling, turn-by-turn directions, 911 assist, and more. Available exclusively on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles. For more details, visit syncmyridepodcast.com. And also by Slingbox. Watch your favorite TV shows when you're away from home with Slingbox. Check out Slingbox at a Best Buy near you or visit slingbox.com/twit. Welcome to Tech News Today. I'm Tom Merritt.
I'm Dr. Kiki.
And I'm Jason Howell.
And these are the stories that are important today.
That's right.
And not tomorrow.
Yes, it's very serious. It's a very serious show today. We start with Microsoft Kinect. Communist plot or socialist undermining?
Go.
Dr.
To make
Kiki.
you move.
I
go with the socialists. Yes.
It's socialized movement.
That's right. Everybody move together now.
I got my Kinect this morning, and I got to plug it in and play with it, and I have to say I mostly like it.
Mostly.
I mostly like it. It's a little hard to use in the menus, like trying to pick like, oh, let's go next, and choosing which character I'm going to be. That kind of stuff's a little wonky. Some of it is just learning curve. Some of it is if you're pausing to read and you don't watch where your hand is, you suddenly have selected something that you didn't mean to.
Yeah, right.
That kind of stuff.
Oops.
But once you get into the game, it's actually really good, and the voice control works really well. I would rather them handle the menus by voice control, because the voice control works great.
So how is it in terms of recognizing your movements and following what you're doing?
It does a really good audio setup where it like measures the background noise, measures what the room sounds like with music playing from the speakers, and then what it sounds like when you're talking. It does the same thing where it scans you, asks you to stand in a bunch of different places so that it can scan your skeleton. I didn't have this problem because I'm white as a sheet, but apparently darker complected people, the darker you are, the more problems some people were having with it doing the facial recognition. Now, that's separate from the skeletal recognition.
And just recognizing your body and your body movements.
The body movements and everything doesn't really matter because it's just looking at the position of your body. But to have your login be associated with your face, it has to be able to recognize your face. And not all dark-skinned faces, but some people with darker skin were reporting it couldn't recognize them.
So it might be some kind of contrast issue?
It could be. It could be some kind of light, maybe the way the lighting is in the room.
What the backdrop is.
Yeah. Because it's not consistent. It's not like you can say, oh, if you're this black, doesn't work for you, because some people are saying, hey, it worked fine for me. I don't know, I don't know what the deal is.
I mean, maybe they haven't had enough white-skinned people, really white-skinned people up against white walls.
Yes, that hasn't happened yet. Yeah.
Can't get the ghost away from the wall.
I'll volunteer for that. Also, a bounty has been offered to create an open source driver for Kinect so that you could use it for other things besides the Xbox. This is from Adafruit, led by MIT Media Lab alum Lemore Freed, who actually I'd like to get on Current Geek, and Make Magazine senior editor Philip Tyrone, offering $1,000 to anybody who can write an open source driver.
Only $1,000?
Well, I know.
Come on.
It won't pay
That's
for your
not
programming.
enough for you to learn programming and write the driver. But if you already
That
know
is true.
programming,
Oh, okay. Then it might actually be worth it.
it might be worth it. So
Maybe.
some cool stuff going on there. Hulu is going wide open. No more invite needed. You still need to be in the United States. Sorry, Canadians. But you can use Hulu Plus. I'm talking about Hulu Plus. Obviously, Hulu has been
already
available already.
for everyone. Yeah.
Hulu Plus, the one that you get the ability to spend $10 a month to use, is now available without an invite.
Yeah, and I have been using Hulu Plus at home over the summer, basically, and I think I have similar complaints about it to a majority or a lot of people, that it's still too many advertisements. They don't reduce the number of advertisements that you have to watch as because you're paying
It's
for the
the same.
content. It's the
I just give
same
you
amount of
access.
content. The same amount of ads. You just get better access to
It
a
doesn't
larger
end
library.
after 5 episodes. You get the entire season.
But
you
not
get
in
back
every
seasons.
show.
Right.
But it's only some shows.
Yeah.
So it's not across the board. You never know what shows are going to come through or not. And then you still have to watch advertisements. And I don't know, paying $10 a month to me, it's been a little, I think I'm being yanked around a little bit.
And we'd had a rumor that
Not
they
excited.
might cut the cost of $5 a month. That has not happened. A lot of people think that they want to make it open to all the users first before they decide to cut to $5, which would make sense. If the rumor was they were considering cutting it to $5, here's how I think the conversation goes. There's the group sitting around the conference table like, we're just not getting that many people spending $10. Maybe we should cut it to $5. Well, maybe we should. You know what, though? Let's wait and see, because this is just the beta, people.
Right.
Let's open it up so there's no barrier to entry and see if we get enough people spending $10. Okay, I still think we should cut it to $5, but let's wait and see. And
Yep.
there you go.
Yeah. So they'll
So
see.
don't sign up.
Don't sign up.
If you want it to be $5.
That'll have to be the way it is. They'll have to see that people aren't taking that option, and maybe they'll cut the price a little.
Hulu Plus also hitting Bravia HD TVs and coming to PS3 users next week. And it's supposed to hit the Roku sometime soon. I hope it does. Time Warner
awesome.
Cable announced that they saw bigger profits on increased revenue during the third quarter of 2010. Why do you care? Because they lost television subscribers.
Yeah.
So
they're gaining money someplace else.
Earnings increased to $360 million. Revenue increased 5.2%, but they lost the subscribers to the television. Now, some of the revenue was made up by ISP services, internet
Broadband.
services, and phone service, but some of it was actually made up just charging people more for cable television.
Hey, you're going to drop our services? We'll just charge everybody else a little bit more.
Revenue for video alone was up 1.7% just by getting people to go to fancier packages, more expensive packages.
Which they usually do by putting the channels that you really want to watch in a premium package.
Yeah.
Up the price, just change the distribution of where the channels are.
CEO Glenn Britt of Time Warner Cable said they are talking about a cheaper package to try to keep people from leaving, because if they could take those people who are leaving and get them at least on a cheaper package, they'd make more money.
I have 3 words. A la carte.
No, not going to happen. A la carte is internet. A la carte is Hulu. A la carte is
where
never going to happen
is-
in cable.
All these people who are dropping their services are going to internet.
Well, they say no.
for
Time
that
Warner
purpose.
said, oh, no, it's just the economy. People aren't cutting the cord and going to the internet.
Well, we'll just keep watching as the economy improves and your numbers keep dropping.
He also said something interesting about set-top boxes. He said set-top boxes weren't something we really wanted. The reason we have them is that consumer electronics devices in general aren't capable of displaying all of our services. Britt said that as technology advances and devices such as TVs gain connectivity, the set-top box will eventually go away. Now, it's been my understanding that they hate things like cable card because they want to control the subscription.
Right.
But I think what he's pointing to here is if we can get a television that has internet connectivity and we deliver our video controlled over the internet, we can still do all the pay-per-view and TV anywhere and all that stuff over an internet-connected television and not have to pay for a box, and that saves us a bunch of money.
Or you just pay more for your television.
Well, I don't think you'd pay more for your television, would you? What would make you pay more for your television?
If you're getting an internet-connected television, if you're getting a television that has those components built in,
right,
it's going to just generally be.
Well, the prices come down over time, so that might wash out for you. I think you pay more for your cable subscription because they don't. Well, essentially, the cost that they save in maintaining all those boxes just goes away.
Right.
They don't pass along the savings. That's my guess. Let's take a moment and thank Ford for sponsoring Tech News Today, makers of Ford voice-activated sync. You can change songs, make phone calls, get directions, all while safely keeping your eyes on the road. It's a really good way to drive. I've taken a few rides in a Ford with voice-activated sync, and it is a pleasure. I usually drive, because I don't have a Ford, without paying any attention to my phone. If it rings, Owen J.J. Stone called me last night. I did not pick up and answer the phone because I'm driving. If I had Ford voice-activated sync, I could have said, Oh, it would have told me who it was because I didn't even know who was calling. It would have said, hey, it's O'Doctor. Oh, okay, answer it. I would have been able to talk to him, say hello, get whatever needed to be done, and be on my way while keeping my eyes on the road. You can do that with a Bluetooth phone. You can tell it to go through playlists. You can skip songs. You can get turn-by-turn directions, 911 assist, and more. Sync is available exclusively on Ford, Lincoln, and Mercury vehicles, and it makes calls on most Bluetooth-enabled mobile phones. Check it out at syncmyridepodcast.com. On to HP's new CEO, Leo Appletecker.
He's running from the man.
Call him Minjelly. He's on the lam.
He's on the lam.
Yeah, he has been subpoenaed. Well, they're trying to subpoena him for a trial where Oracle is suing SAP, and Leo Appletecker used to work for SAP. They want him to testify. A lot of people at HP think they just want to embarrass him because, of course, Mark Hurd, the former HP CEO, now works for Larry Ellison at Oracle.
Right, so it's just turning the tables, and it's neat to see HP kind of protecting the CEO.
Yeah,
running
we want you to run, but we don't want you to tell us where you are.
We don't know anything. We can't say anything about his whereabouts. Yeah. We really don't know.
He doesn't check in with us all the time. We don't know where he is. He's just the new CEO. Why would we know where he is? Yeah, I guess they declined to discuss his whereabouts. It would be interesting if something like this is an actual move to embarrass the CEO. Would that actually have some kind of an effect on HP stock? Would it, how would it actually affect the company? An HP spokeswoman said that given his limited knowledge and role in the matter, they believe that it is no more, quote, no more than an effort to harass him and interfere with his duties and responsibilities as HP's CEO.
Yeah.
Makes good drama, though.
Oh, great drama.
Also good drama in the courtroom as Jamie Thomas's third P2P verdict comes down. This time she owes $1.5 million.
That's a little less than last time, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not the lowest. Her first verdict in 2007 was $222,000.
Do you take the case?
Right,
Are you going to open this case?
Do you take what's inside the box? Or do you hold out
Or do you
and see
hold
what's
out?
inside this box?
She didn't take that box, got stuck for $1.92 million, and then today that got knocked down to $1.5.
It's still ridiculous in terms of how much per song the jury is awarding.
Yeah, it's 2 CDs worth of songs.
Yes.
And
24.
she is trying to say, look, I don't make a lot of money. I buy plenty of music. The damages here really aren't that bad. You need to give me the minimum. The record industry is saying, see, she just won't take responsibility for the damage she's done. You need to punish and make an example out of her.
Right, so
And that's
nobody
apparently what
else
the
will
jury
ever
did.
do this. Yes.
And it's very interesting that it really is no consistency here because, as this article points out, $675,000 in a similar case, Joel Tenenbaum, which was $22,500 per song.
Judge Davis, presiding over this case, has already ruled that $2,250 per song is the most that can be reasonably assessed. That would give a $54,000 fine to Thomas, which is large.
I'd love to know
larger than what she
where
makes in a year.
Where these numbers are coming from that the jury is pulling out of the air.
They are going with the recording industry's argument that she needs to be punished. That it's not about just the damage. That giving away music is actually more harmful than selling it because it undermines the market. And so it's not just that she took a song that might have been worth $1. It's that she was contributing to undermine a marketplace that ruins artists' lives and impoverishes them.
Never mind
caused millions of dollars in damage.
Right. Caused millions of dollars in damage, and never mind the fact that so many people who are given music for free very often go on to purchase music that they enjoy.
That's not an issue in this trial, Miss Sanford.
Oh no, yes.
The jury will disregard Miss Sanford's statements. All right. Intel Light Peak is technology that would give us 10 gigabit per second transfer in both directions simultaneously.
That is awesome.
So it could be used for everything. It could be used for your display. It could transfer high-def video. It could even transfer internet. It could be used to replace Ethernet. It can do sound and video at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it looks like it will be coming in the first half of 2011.
Yeah. What's interesting about this to me is that this seems to be this competition between USB 3.0 and Lightpeak. And
yes.
Who are the big players throwing their weight behind?
Well, see, that's the thing. USB 3.0 can do lots of really fast data transfer,
Very
too.
fast.
And it already exists, but Intel, who's helping develop Lightpeak with Apple's backing, is not putting USB 3.0 on the chipset. And so it's very slow to be adopted.
Right.
And a lot of folks who want USB 3.0 are a little pissed off at Intel about that.
What would be the benefit of 3.0 over Lightpeak? Or the benefit, Lightpeak just seems like it's just.
Well, the benefit
seems
right
awesome.
now is that USB 3.0 exists, works, and could be implemented right now. In fact, LaCie just came out with a kit for Apple users if they want to use it.
Okay.
So it happens. Lightpeak is still like, well, we'll believe it when we see it sort of thing.
It's in the future.
Yeah.
I also like the fact that they've changed to using actual words in the name as opposed to just letters.
Yeah, this goes
USB.
like IEEE 1394 became Firewire.
Firewire.
Lightpeak has got a number that I can't remember now off the top of my head, too. A lot of people don't think Lightpeak will be widely implemented. They think it'll end up being like Firewire. Apple will use it, and that'll be it. But Intel helped push USB 2.0 by putting it on the chipset. So if they put Lightpeak,
a lot of people adopted.
It's hard to say. Yeah. All right. The EU believes you have the right to be forgotten. And that's all I remember about this story. No, the European Union on Thursday proposed new privacy rights for citizens that mean companies would have to give you a way to delete all the data they have about you at your request. So when you leave Facebook, instead of just saying delete my page, it's delete every single thing you know about me. And also they'd have to require people to opt into any data collection like advertisements do when they set cookies.
As opposed to opting out.
Yeah. So right now you can opt out by deleting your cookies or possibly going to an advertiser and saying do not set cookies, this and that. This law might require them to ask you every time you go to a page, okay, if we set a cookie?
Which could get a little annoying.
It would get really annoying.
Yeah. One interesting statement here in the article from Europe's online advertising industry who are against this idea. They've argued that putting the onus on internet users to explicitly grant consent for websites to use personal data would reduce the numbers of internet users receiving targeted advertising and thereby deprive them of free services.
No, he's got a point. A lot of the free stuff that we get on the internet is because those cookies are being set behind the scenes.
Yep.
So, I mean, a lot of it isn't that. A lot of it is because venture capitalists are funding it, and they don't have to make money yet. So, you know, it's not like we would lose all free services, but I like the idea of being able to go and say to a company, delete everything. I don't want you to know about me. That causes some other issues. What about the archive at archive.org? Do they have to delete everything about you at your request? Their job is not to data mine you, but they have information
holding
about
on to your
you.
information. Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, not that they have GeoCities, and not that I'm bitter about that.
Don't worry, you can download that in one giant torrent.
That's right. We'll be able to get the torrent, too. So companies like Microsoft and Google are holding off criticizing this. Some smaller companies are already saying this is a horrible idea. But Europeans have a very different take on privacy than we do here in the United States.
Very much so.
Folks in Europe, I wouldn't say value their privacy more, but they defend privacy much more aggressively.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely.
I would like to give you an advertisement, but not aggressively. I'd like to give it to you very nicely.
Kindly, this is a kinder, gentler advertisement.
Slingbox, maybe? I don't know. Put it in your living room. Hook it up to your television. Hook it up to your internet. You get your TV anywhere. What's not to like? You can put it on your laptop. Put it on your phone. And then there's none of this like, oh, I'm Jamie Thomas, and did I do something illegal? No, you have legally taken that cable TV subscription that you are paying Time Warner or someone else for, and you can watch it where you want. It's like having a TV you can carry with you, and you get all that content you pay for at home anywhere you want. Anything on your DVR, anything that you subscribe to, anything over the air. You don't even have to have cable. If you're sitting there like, well, I don't have cable. No, you can use that too. It works with whatever your television is and delivers it to you over the internet. So you plug it into your television, you plug it into your internet connection, and then you install the software on your laptop, on your desktop, wherever you want it. You can just use it to add another screen in the kitchen, or you can use it to watch TV halfway across the world when your favorite sports team is playing. Check it out at a Best Buy near you or at slingbox.com/twit. Time now to fuse the news.
Whoa. Yeah.
Quote of the day. At the Korean launch of the Galaxy Tab, J.K. Shin, who is the head of Samsung's mobile division, said, although the launching of Galaxy Tab has been delayed a bit in Korea, consumer response in Europe and Asia have been quite good. We're confident of meeting 1 million sales mark this year. So take that, Steve Jobs, and your dead on arrival stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone wrote into The Consumerist to report an interesting discovery while shopping for a car loan. Capital One offered him different rates depending on the browser he used. Firefox yielded the highest rate at 3.5%. Opera took second place with 3.1%. Safari was 2.7%, and Google's Chrome browser 2.3%. A commenter claimed browsers do predict an account's performance to some degree. Go actuaries.
So what? Like, because I use Firefox, I'm going to default on my loan?
Yeah.
That's right.
I better start using Safari.
You open
Chrome.
sourcer.
It's not all sunshine and roses for the MacBook Air these days, folks. There's some great reports about battery life because it doesn't have flash, but bug reports are cropping up online and in Apple support forums. In some cases, the display flickers or shows horizontal lines of varying colors or fades from light to dark when the Air wakes from sleep. There's no official recognition of the glitches, but rumors are floating around that Apple is working on some fixes internally.
Get to work, Apple. Can't have glitches from Apple. Apple's perfect. According to
You heard her.
That's right. According to a study by Infogroup Orc, millions of wireless customers are planning to switch to prepaid mobile phone service. 20% of wireless customers, estimated to be about 24.6 million adults in the United States, will move to, quote, less expensive unlimited prepaid wireless service within the next 6 months. 10% said they would switch to a prepaid plan if they weren't subject to an early cancellation penalty.
Cymru am byth. A 4-year
Say
campaign
again.
to secure a .cym internet address for Wales has been lost to the Cayman Islands in the Caribbean. .cym project leaders in Aberystwyth said it was disappointing, but they still plan to bid for a Welsh version of the .com or .co.uk domain. They're appealing for new suggestions and said maybe .cymru could be used instead.
I think that would make more sense, actually.
Actually, it kind of does.
Kind of does.
It's full on. We don't have to limit ourselves to 3 characters.
Don't limit yourself. LG's Windows Phone 7 will get selected free applications. Microsoft announced on Thursday, that would be today. The two companies will subsidize hand-picked applications to promote features of the phones as well as to give a leg up to developers. Every 60 days, 10 free applications worth of a total of $30 will be doled out to customers, available through the LG application store.
An ongoing computer attack has knocked Burma, or some call it Myanmar, off the internet. Just days ahead of its first election in 20 years, Burma links to the wider net via cables and satellites that at most can support data transfers of 45 megabits per second. At its height, the attack was pummeling Burma's connection to the wider net with about 10 to 15 gigabits of data every second.
No. Attackers behind a recent Zeus Trojan exploit set a trap for researchers investigating the attack. The attackers... It's a trap!
That didn't even sound like it. So.
Burgle blop.
Exactly.
Anyway, the attackers fed out a fake administrative panel with fake statistics on the number of Zeus-infected machines, as well as phony botnet software that actually gathered intelligence on the researcher who downloaded it.
Oops. Turnabout is fair
Pretty smart,
play,
actually.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is all part of the
Working it.
arms race. That
Working
is
it.
viruses and botnets.
It excites me.
3 blind people have been implanted with a retinal chip that allowed them to see shapes and objects. They could even navigate their way around a room without running into stuff, approach specific people, and tell time from a clock.
This is really really
There's not enough
impressive.
reallys.
Not enough reallys to explain it. This is an impressive development in the artificial retina research. There's some research out of Livermore, Lawrence Livermore National Labs that they've been working on an artificial retina for a couple of years. That's pretty far advanced. They are able to get people being able to do similar stuff. But the difference here is that what was done previously involved a camera, and that camera then took light signals. They were transduced into electrical signals that were then fed to a chip in the retina. So it wasn't actually light hitting the retina. This is a chip with microphotodiodes that in the eye.
Diode in your eye.
Diode in your eye. Yeah. So there's no camera involved. It's just one chip in the eye that interfaces directly with the retina to allow sight.
That's crazy stuff. This is living in the future stuff.
It is living in the future stuff. This is all, caveat.
Yeah, right.
This is 3 people out of a sample group of 11. A large number didn't have any effect whatsoever. They think it's because most of these individuals had a disorder called retinitis pigmentosa, and it's a degrading disorder, so that over time your ability to see gets less and less.
But the fact that it worked at all is crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's crazy cool.
Yeah, very cool.
Yep.
On to the calendar. Verizon pricing for new phones has leaked out. Looks like we might get $199 Galaxy S Samsung Continuum. That's the one we expect to hear from Samsung next week. $179 for the Droid Pro, and that'd be $279 with a $100 rebate. And Droid 2 Global would come in 2 colors for $199. This all coming from a leaked device list that Engadget published. So you might want to start saving up your pennies for those. Skype 5.0 for Mac beta released today. So finally, people who use OS X can use the same Skype features that existed on Windows. And Facebook has a deal out coming this Friday. Facebook Deals was one of the new things they announced. 10,000 pairs of free jeans on Friday at a Gap. So I don't know how this works.
Gap is doing some...
Do you just log in when you're at the Gap and then you get a free pair of jeans?
I don't know.
I want 10,000.
You don't use the 10,000 pair of jeans you have now.
So do you think this is
true.
Gap doing a little damage control for their whole logo thing?
We're sorry about our logo.
Possible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not that they need to.
We're a good
but
company. You like our
They
pants.
feel like they need to.
Look, just take the pants and stop talking about the logo. We didn't use it, okay?
Good point.
And finally, Apple is accepting submissions into their Mac App Store today. So they're going to start stocking the shelves that should be available for download for Snow Leopard users later this month. On to the voicemails. Garrett called in and said a software solution could be used to provide security on planes and allow you to still use Wi-Fi.
Hey, Tom and the TNT crew. This is Garrett calling from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Just had a thought on the security of Wi-Fi on airplanes. Usually you have to pay to get on those, and obviously they could program the cell phone to automatically log in and pay with some credit card, but couldn't that be easily solved by using a reCAPTCHA? I don't think we need to get alarmed about not having taking Wi-Fi off of all the flights. If we're worried about that, we should be able to solve this problem. Thanks, everyone.
All right. So, yeah, we could, there's a software solution. You could maybe require people to show their MAC address as they board. Something like that.
it's in here
scan the bottom of the laptop.
But he's right. There are things you could do to authenticate. And then our other caller, Joel here, has a hardware solution that I don't know if it's as practical, but is definitely more elegant.
Mm-hmm. Hey, TNT, love the show. My name's Joel, calling from Marquette, Michigan. And in response to yesterday's show talking about the airplanes potentially shutting off the cell service and Wi-Fi, now, obviously, all of these devices that have potential explosive tendencies are going to be stored in the cargo hold. So wouldn't it just be possible to line the cargo hold in some sort of Faraday cage, isolating any kind of wireless signals? Just a thought. Love the show. Keep up the great work.
I don't know how expensive that would be to outfit a Faraday cage into every cargo hold. That's an interesting thought.
It's an additional cost for sure.
Yeah.
But in terms of how expensive.
And plus, it would take up space. I guess you can make a really thin Faraday cage, so it wouldn't take away any appreciable amount of baggage space.
Right.
I like the ideas. I like the thinking.
Mm-hmm. See,
this is what I wish the TSA would do more of. Do more of the thinking. Yeah. Not that they don't do thinking. Right? There's lots of TSA people doing a lot of thinking, but every once in a while the thinking gets thwarted. That's all.
Yeah. Every once in a while you have to wonder about the wisdom of the crowds in certain crowds.
Especially small crowds, of bureaucrats making decisions. On to the email to TNT@twit.tv. Alan in North Dallas says, it infuriates me when you journalists talk about how lame Chrome OS will be.
You journalists.
Do you not realize its greatness? He's not overdoing it there, is it? Do you not realize its greatness? For cheap business laptops or desktops where the employees only need to access the company's local intranet site and launch spreadsheets and such from there. Also, there is a Chrome OS tool dubbed Chromoting where you can remote into a server or any other OS and launch a virtual desktop where you can open any sort of application. Also, people could run Citrix, MetaFrame, ICA, XenApp programs, which is how a lot of businesses allow people to open their company version of Microsoft Outlook or Excel or any other program from any computer in the world. Anywhere. Android is for mobile or media consumption, but Chrome OS could be for actual secure virtualization of the workplace, a slimlined, secure, fast portal to the cloud.
He should write their advertisements.
That is almost a slam to say he should write their advertising, because I think he did a really good job of pointing out the benefits of Chrome OS.
No, I think he did a great job. It was just the very last. It's very
he does
nice
use
alliteration
a little
and
flowery
language. Yes.
Yes. I think he makes some really good points. My thing is, I'm not sure that a lot of people are going to see the advantage of buying a Chrome OS device, which isn't distributed. By the way, Chrome OS will not be distributed as an operating system. You have to buy the device. So I'm not sure that a lot of enterprises will see the advantage to that versus just a Linux tablet or Windows laptops.
Most people just go for the Windows machines, right?
I mean, all those advantages can be had in other equipment that arguably might be more expensive. We have to wait and see. But my problem isn't that Chrome OS is entirely stupid. My problem is that I don't know that people see it as something they need.
Yep.
So anyway, thank you, Alan, though, because we do appreciate when people try to keep us honest.
Just for the record, I believe we said the same thing about the iPad.
Did we?
Well, I
don't remember what I said.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if it was you, but I remember the same conversation around the iPad before it came out.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We journalists
said we.
Oh, now you're a journalist.
Yeah, well, sure. Sure, now I am.
I wasn't there. Nothing to do with it. Tom.
Yes.
I had to laugh when you guys were talking about HD paint.
You or Nicole?
Nicole.
Oh, okay.
On my nails right now is HD nail polish. They even take it a step further with color names like Byte, LCD, and Data. Love the show, Nicole.
Yeah, there's HD makeup. I actually own some. I'm a 115.
I don't know what I would be.
There's Blu-ray cargo makeup, too. Blu-ray makeup.
It's kind of depressing.
Because it's high-def makeup. Actually, you do need a different kind of makeup when you're going to be on a high-def picture.
Yep. Yeah.
But not high-def. Not HD DVD versus Blu-ray.
Yeah, there's different makeups for HD DVD, but Blu-ray. You don't see HD DVD makeup anymore because,
they don't shoot the scene twice
that makes sense
in different types of makeup.
Then there's 3D makeup and light peak makeup. All right. Thanks, Kiki.
Hey, thanks, Tom.
Sorry, Becky couldn't make it today. She had a last-minute emergency with one of her kids.
Which is terrible.
Yeah, well, don't make No one died.
No one died.
No one's permanently injured.
Yes.
And she'll be back next week. She was supposed to be here today. We were even planning the show earlier today, and at the last minute, she's like, last minute emergency, can't do it. So
that happens. I'm sure I have a lot of that to look forward to.
I know, exactly, right?
Ugh.
Anyway, you can follow us on the web at twit.tv/TNT. Give us a call, 260-TNT-SHOW. Leave us a voicemail. We got some good ones today. And send us an email. The email address is TNT. Then use the @ symbol. Then TWIT, a period, and TV. Use your electronic mail client to send it to us.
And that's all.
See you tomorrow.
Jazz hands.
Jazz hands.
Ooh, duh.